Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make my boxing glove. So first of all, we're going to tie two bands together like this, and the way to do that is to have two bands, put one, whoops, drop one, put one through the other, and then poke the one there through and pull it tight. Okay, so we're going to use these as our strings to lace up our boxing glove. You're also going to need a black band to go around the wrist, and the rest is all red. We're going to have our loom in an offset configuration, which means column 1 and 3 are lower than column 2, and we are going to be double banding. Your loom is going to be with the open side of your peg facing towards you, or arrows facing towards you. So let's get started. As I said, we are double banding. So that's a very stretched band. Two bands go on at the same time. We're going to be going all the way down the loom with our red bands, all the way to the very end. Now when we get to the end here, let's push everything down because we are going to be layering. And we'll finish these off here by putting two there and a pair here, and I'll use that overstretched band that I found as an end cap on the end here. I'll just wrap it, whoops, wrap it round a few more times while crashing into my keyboard and opening all sorts of things that I didn't want to do. Come on, one more twist. There we go. It was a very overly stretchy band, so I thought I would just twist it around a couple more times. Okay, for our layers we still need red, and we're going to start from the top, and again we're double banding, so we start just at these two, not at the very top, just these two from the top of column 1 and 3. Push things down so you have room. The last thing you want is bands flying all over the place, which is what happens to me on a daily basis. Now, we're going to put our thumb here, and to do our thumb we're going to take a single red band, pop it through your hook, wrap it once, twice and 3 times, and then take a double band and slide those onto it, push it into the middle, reclaim the end of your bands, get another double, and the last double here. Now, before reclaiming the end of this band, I'm going to take 3 bands and slide them on here, careful not to lose the other 2 poking out here, and then I'm going to put that back on there. I'm not putting another 3 on here, so this is an odd, if you have a look at it, it's an odd number. You've got more on this side than you have on this side, and that's okay. We're going to place the bands here. The shortest side goes this side, the longer side goes this side. I very carefully put hand cream on just before doing this video, which is making me a bit slippery and slimy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, actually let me count, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I thought so, we've got it up 1 spot too high, let's move it down 1 spot. Sorry about that. He goes there, and he goes there. Now we'll put the other bands, the 2 bands from my layer, there on the top side of the thumb. Okay. Now then, what we're going to do is put some crossover bands on. And for the wrist part, which we want to be thinner than the actual fist part, we're going to take a single band and figure 8, and we'll put it across these 3 pegs. The same for here. Stretch it out and pop that across like that, and 1 more here. Like that. We're also going to take our 2 white ties that we did and place them, 1 there and 1 there. That's going to get looped in when we loop this one up, so we're just going to sit them there for the minute. Okay, we need to do our crossover bands for up here. We're going to take single bands, but we're not going to figure 8 and loop them on themselves. We're just going to stretch them across in a triangle shape across these pegs. And the last one up here. Okay, so we're ready to start looming. We're going to go down this end cap, and this one is on the top, so we're going to go down, pick up those two pegs, and loom it down to this peg here. Same on the other side, grab those 2 bands and loom down to here. Now we're ready to just loom up. We're going to loom up until we hit this spot here, which is where we have our layers starting. And let's loom up the middle so we can loom those little white bands in and not fear that they are going to go walkabout. Okay, I'm going to hold them down and loom that one up. Stay there. Now the one that catches them is this one up, and we can loom all the way up to the top. Until we get to this spot here. Okay, so those are actually loomed in quite nicely, that's good. Now for our layer, what we're going to do is push back your end cap. You just want, oh, we don't have a layer for this one. This one is right, that's right. So this one just gets loomed up to here. This is where our layer starts on this side. This is where our layer starts on this side. So here we've loomed this one up for the thumb, and now we go down past that end cap and grab the 2 top bands, and that's what we're going to do up to the top. Just the 2 top bands. Make sure that you push the crossover band out of the way. If that means you're just doing one at a time, that's okay. And you stop here. On the other side we're going to do the same thing, but our layer starts down here under the thumb from the other side. Push back the crossover bands because they need to stay in their spot. Up to here. Now we're going to do the old trick, putting your hook between layers 1 and 2 and pulling these off the loom, but leaving the crossover bands where they're supposed to be. Okay, just like that. One more. There we go. So all of that is hanging off the loom to the right. Turn your loom around and starting here, going to do the same thing. Make sure you're just taking the top layer. You want that bottom layer that's not loomed yet left in place with the crossover bands. Here we go. Turn your loom around and we're going to start looping our bottom layer together. Up to that point there. Now on the other side we're going to do the same thing. Pull your thumb back so you can see those 2 bands and we loom up. Now once we get to here we want to loom the sides to the middle, and then we're going to loom this last middle one up to the middle. And we take a single red band, pop it through and out the side, place it on your hook, whoops, twist your hook so the smooth side goes against those bands, and pull it round, and we'll do a slip knot by pulling that tight. Now I use a metal hook to help me take things off my looms. If I have a lot of bands on one peg, I think it's better safe than sorry, but if it's just your normal standard 2 or 3, then it's easy enough to just pull off. Okay, so here is, let's pull him so he's straightened out a bit. Here is our boxing glove. It looks a bit like a mitten, doesn't it, at the moment? Now, we're not going to worry about these just yet. We're going to bend this over to the right height that we want, and I think it's about right there. And then what I'm going to do is stick my hook through the back of my glove and pull the band that we used to tie off through to the back of the glove, like that. Now what I'm going to do is I would like my thumb to stay closer, so it's not pulled out like this. I want it to stay closer to the actual glove. So I'm going to push my hook through the middle of these bands, and I'm going to grab the band and pull it through to the side here. I'm going to pop it through the middle of my thumb like that, and then I'm just gently going to splay open the band and pop it over like that, so that it's just a little band that's holding that together like that. Now here we're going to do a little bit of braiding, but first of all let's put a black band and wrap it once and twice around the wrist. And now we're going to, here we are, using a hook, we're just going to gently move our bands either side, going under and over. So I'm going to take this first one, get that one out the way. I'll try and even it up actually. There we go. And on the other side, there we are, that's better. So with this one, I'm going to dig under, grab a couple of bands, and take this white band and lace it through. And the same on this side. And lace it through. Same on this side. I'm going to do the opposite. Go under a couple of bands, or one band at least. Try and get that knot through. And then on the other side, I'm trying to see what I've done here. I've gone down. Oh, I've gone down higher on that one, haven't I? Okay, hang on. I'm going to readjust. That's gone down too low. That's why it's looking a bit odd. Anyway, you get the drift of what I'm doing. I'm just going to be braiding this through the bands. So this one is going to go here. Fumble fingers strikes again. Okay, so that one's going to go there. This one, Get out of it. I'm going to put here. Push that little knot through. And then I'm going to tie this in a knot at the bottom here. So that it looks like we have laced these boxing gloves up. And there you have it, a little pair of boxing gloves. I'd love to see how yours turn out. Thanks for the idea to the person on Instagram that said, can I make a pair of boxing gloves? There you go. I'll try and find your name out and tell everybody that you inspired me to do this. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.